We didn't see all that. So now we're wishing for something that we don't even know really what happened back then. Do you honestly think being an adult and knowing how relationships and how life go, that everything was good for them?
No.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. They struggled. They went through stuff. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, grandpa going out.
Exactly. You grow up now. You and you don't really put too much thought about it, but you ain't never just thought to yourself, why auntie don't look like mama now?
Welcome to Regular Gentleman Podcast.
Oh.
We got a special guest, and this is Tiffany.
Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all men. Why it be like y'all after 30? Matter of fact, mid-30s and still ain't grew up yet.
What do you consider like grew up? Like why do you
Still do stuff like in y'all's 20.
Like what?
Like run around and sleep with everybody and
so you mean
dog them out. Matter of fact,
so
expose people. Like doing all that stuff. I see it online a lot. That's why I don't like really on social media that much anymore.
So you mean ready to commit?
No, I'm saying like your ways, like still be childish, like the way y'all handle things, not like.
She said, basically, she describing a young boy and a grown man.
Yes, like
that's
that.
That's what she talking about. So why is niggas can't be with one woman? That's what she wants.
Not so much as just be with one woman. I'm just saying like you saying, yeah, like not acting like an adult, like you doing stuff that you would do, like. Yeah, like you acting your shoe size, not your age.
Well, that all comes before a man will tell you his shoe size before you even start getting into it with him.
But my question is this: is like I said, is it that if it's not ready to commit, so that's not what the concern is. If he's running around messing with a bunch of different women and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
so much like acting like you say like you 35, 36, but you still act like you 22. Like,
but the thing about that's why I'm asking for examples, because the difference is
that's
people,
one of the examples.
Some people at 22 did different things. I wasn't wild at 22. I didn't go to the club. I'm not the type that just hung out and had to be in the streets. I've always been kind of pretty much like a homebody person. That's always been me. Even at 22, that wasn't me. So 22 is different for our men.
Yeah.
So I'm asking like, what exactly do you mean? Because just running around.
Like, well, I'll rephrase it. At what age do you grow up? Like, certain do things like I'm too old for this. I ain't trying to do this anymore. Like, you know.
Certain men go through certain things in life that make them grow up. Like for me, my trigger to made me grow up was I was 16. My mom was a strong black woman trying to deal with 4 kids, and I never seen my mom cry. So when I seen my mom cry, saying that she couldn't buy her kids nothing for Christmas, it made me grow up. I did all that drugs and gang and clubs and shit when I was like 16 and 17. You know what I mean? So I grew the fuck up and became a man at an early age, taking care of my brothers and sisters. But you got different folks, different strokes for different folks.
I think it's also a matter of perspective, though. You know what I mean? Because I once felt like, you know what I'm saying, doing certain things with only tailored to being of a certain age and stuff like that. But you have people like celebrities and like entertainers and public figures and all that, and we would like when they out in the club all the time. You know what I'm saying? They out in the club, they out in the streets, they doing all this stuff that we claim men that haven't grown up do. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the person. Sometimes that's just your lane. Sometimes that's just people's lane. Some people like to hang out. Some people like to party. Some people like to enjoy life in that facet. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that they don't go home and handle business. Yeah. That don't mean that they don't go home, pay their bills, take care of their family, and do stuff like that. It's just that outside of that, their lane is the nightlife, or you know what I'm saying, run the street, and now that's what they like to do. Everybody don't enjoy the same thing. Yeah. I just feel like it's about finding the person that's in your lane. A lot of times we like what we see. We like what we see. You know what I'm saying? And whatever lane that person is in may not be the lane for you. And now we like to feel like because they're not doing what we feel like grown people supposed to do, that they're not they're not adults.
I
So
feel
they're
like
not
even
grown.
that term like what grown people are supposed to do, I feel like that could range from a different things, you know, just being childish, like breaking up with somebody, you know, and then exposing them and then doing a bunch of just random shit. I feel like that. A lot of that has to do with like a person not knowing how to control their emotions. You feel me? They're just acting out of rage. You feel me? So I'd say like don't take that shit like personal, like at all, because that's just them just being a child. That's just them just getting over their hurt type of shit. You know? So like it's nothing like.
Cause you know how you'll look like the old you would be like, man, I would do this, do that. But now when you get older, you
I ain't worried about you.
Yeah, I ain't doing that no more. But at what age?
That's just like when I go back to the hood and I see the same nigga sitting on the corner. I'll be like,
people just don't know how to
like that.
forward.
Like,
They just
that's what I
especially
would
for a person to. It's certain things that you expect a person to outgrow. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's just in the person. It just in them. It's just who they are. And a lot of times, I feel like there's some things that you have to accept and you got to respect that that's who that person is.
yeah.
And instead of
Either you like it or you don't.
right, and instead of questioning, let it be.
Or
And
you
it's
gonna
not
wait.
for
You want to give them your time or waste your
If it's
time.
not for you, then you move around.
Yeah. So I mean, it's.
I feel like that sign could be looked at before you indulge in something like that.
Right.
It's
You
a
know,
flag.
I feel like that. Yeah, keeping them signs like just shit they would say on Facebook. You know,
Right.
like things they would post. Like, you know, it's not gonna be no different after you're through with them.
Are you in the Rickers Gentleman group?
Yeah, I'm in that.
We put a post up saying, "What would you want a mama's boy or a man that hates his mother? What would you want?
Ooh.
Which
I
one you
want
think would
neither.
be easy to deal with?
I wouldn't want you.
Neither one.
I always say,
If you
now I
had
don't
to
care if
choose.
y'all disagree,
If you
but I say I'm against dating the baby of the family and the only child, because they don't really, to me, and I don't know if anybody would agree, but they don't really have a sense of responsibility. Like me, I'm the oldest in my family, so I had to look out for my siblings and I had to do things. I had to grow up earlier, so in life I knew how to handle stuff. Versus somebody who was either the baby or the only child. They had nothing to look
I
after.
feel you on that.
Everybody always catered to them, so they always used to getting their way or getting their point across and all that. And I'm just like, no.
You
can't
baby
do
or
it.
you the oldest?
I'm like the middle.
I'm the oldest. What about you, D?
I'm the oldest.
You the oldest?
Yeah.
All right.
So see, it's like you know the difference.
I
when you
understand
meet
where she
somebody
coming
who's
from.
Like the baby, they
Okay.
Like from being the middle, you know what it's like to have people look after
Right.
you. You know how to look.
But I ain't gonna lie though, man.
I was-
Being the oldest got a lot of responsibility.
It
But
is.
I ain't gonna lie.
So you gonna carry that when you get older. So like when you look at different people and look at their life, you just be like,
I
Well-
can't necessarily agree. Not fully. I think it depends on the situation. Cause I'm the oldest, but I was completely spoiled.
Ain't you the only boy?
but you the only boy.
Oh, yeah, so yeah, man, it's just like you being the baby, bro. Come on, man. What the hell?
You're the only boy.
No, man, but I say, what makes a man hate his mother? I see if she abused, besides abuse, you know what I'm saying, child molestation and all that junk. You know what I'm saying, being fondled with, but
Damn, mothers fondle their kids.
I'm pretty sure.
or letting somebody fondle you. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand, like bro. Besides all that, if a man hates his mama to the point that, brother, it's like I don't think you should deal with that man until he get himself fixed.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because that relationship can be not only toxic, it can be dangerous. Because that man is basically, when you lose respect for your mama, you basically then lost respect for every motherfucking woman that you've
Pretty
been
much.
probably
You
just
ain't
gonna
gonna
come in
treat them.
contact with.
Right.
Does
You know
does that compare to women with daddy issues?
Same thing, bro. If you hate your daddy, you definitely ain't finna respect the nigga out there.
But what if that person has shown you more affection and love
Than your
more
dad.
than
I
your
mean,
own family? Because you do
you
have
got-
people like that.
You do got people like that, but it's gonna be a trigger somewhere up in there.
I think it depends on the person, and I feel like every situation.
Unless she's raised by your grandma.
I feel like I
Which is
think
everybody in our generation.
Right.
they
I feel
all
like
good with their
situations
grandma.
depend on the person and depends on the situation. I mean, like period, because I feel like it can go different ways. I feel like for one, a woman that they have so-called daddy issues, right? Because maybe her daddy wasn't there or some stuff like that. She's either going to reject or she's gonna latch on to the men that show her that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on the person, and it depends on how they took that upbringing of not having their dad. You know what I'm saying? You're either gonna reject it or you're gonna latch on to it. Everybody's not gonna necessarily react the same.
Yeah.
What would your mama do for you to hate her? Like what? Give them up or something? That's the only way I would think you would hate your mom.
I mean,
like
some
gave
people,
you up
bro,
or something.
some people hate their mom for the dumbest shit. You know what I'm saying? You can be spoiled like the baby. Let's say the baby. You spoiled all of them life, and then next thing you know, your mom start telling you fucking no. I didn't see it.
I'm going through that now.
You know what I'm saying? You spoil your son. I'm gonna tell y'all something about spoiling y'all kids, bro. There's nothing wrong with spoiling your kids, but sometimes you gotta spoil your kids to the point that where it's a no-wit's on there somewhere. You know what I mean? Because as that child get older, all he's gonna hear is yes, 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 and he's gonna expect you to give me that. So if a woman tell him no, rejection and all that shit, that's gonna be a big ass problem for that young man. Like, I dealt with somebody in a relationship to the point to where she was spoon fed. Mm-hmm. So all her life, where every problem came with her grandma took care of it. So when it came down to our problems, she panicked. See, me, I'm from the hood. I ain't been with my lights cut off. I ain't been we eat fucking noodles and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So my mama taking my checks and saying, hey, you gonna pay these bills so you can know when you get older to choose from them Jordans or pay your goddamn bills. Right. As long as you got a roof over your head and you got food in your refrigerator and you got gas in your car, you all right. See, but when it came down, she was looking out the window, looking at the outside, looking at everybody. I'm like, look, I got it. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Paying for the trips, doing this shit. The motherfucker still stressed. I'm like, what the fuck you stressing for? So I learned my lesson. You know how people say you can't turn a hoe into a housewife? I ain't gonna tell you now. I'd rather have a hoe. You wanna know why? Because that hoe been through shit. That hoe tired.
True.
That hoe tired, D.
Looking for a way out.
That hoe tired, D. That hoe done been through some shit, Tip. I'm telling you, that hoe gonna treat you like the nigga you supposed to be.
Right.
I'm telling you, bro. Like, I done been through these motherfuckers that never been through shit, bro. And it's failure.
I honestly don't believe you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. I mean,
you can if she want to change.
Yeah,
it goes back to when you
exactly.
said, at what point did you grow up?
Exactly. I believe that it's a possibility for a person.
I was about to say something. I was a hoe.
Shit, nigga, you say it.
I was a hoe. I ain't gonna lie. And I became a wonderful husband.
I've been there too.
I became a wonderful husband. Man, I was a hoe.
Absolutely. I know.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, I was a hoe.
Oh my God.
I was a undercover hoe. I was an undercover. I was a Secret Service hoe.
I was under.
You ain't know?
I was under
because I was behind the door. I'm trying to tell you, shit, man.
It's okay as long as you don't get caught, right?
Yeah, man, but then
what happened when you get caught?
and then I caught that fucking bug. That bug at 25. The same shit you talking about. I caught that bug at 25. And I sat after drive-bys, bullets flying past my head. I sat down and was like, God trying to tell me something. I need to settle my bitch ass down. And I sat there on my grandma's couch, bro, and I was like, I'm ready to get married. But y'all don't hit. I ain't gonna sense that sword. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't want you crying.
No, I don't want to. I felt a moment of silence. For a second, y'all really listening to shit.
Yeah.
You know, y'all really listening to shit. They were like, come on. But nah, it was just long story short, you know what I'm saying? My failures made me better. You know what I mean? Like, my marriage wasn't bad. It's just it wasn't the time. You see what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna never speak down on a past relationship or anything like that. But it just wasn't my time. And as a man, it helped me grow. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm really a motherfucker. I'm really, I came from a grandpa or grandma type thing. So marriage is really important. Mm-hmm. And I thought I was gonna have that white picket fence. I swear to God, but yeah, when you're
Still
dealing
get
with
that white picket fence.
like,
I don't know, cause I'm older, but I don't really be in no. I ain't never been married, but I ain't really looking forward to it, based on seeing how people these days go through stuff. Cause everybody don't go by the old school rule, like how your grandparents have been married for like 40, 50 years. It's like I've heard and seen people in marriages where they do the most, like they fighting, like the woman fighting the man, like fist fighting, and then they go back and be together. Then the woman run the dude over, and they're like, "Well, that's my husband," and I'm just like,
You don't think their grandparents went through that?
oh, their grandparents went through hell and hot water. My
because
grandma,
back in them days, women was a lot more submissive.
my grandma told me she hated my grandpa, but that's the one she chose.
Right. Right.
That loyalty was
See,
still
the thing
there.
about it,
Well, I ain't
We
gonna
want-
be with nobody who
oftentimes-
punching me, and then I'm
Not when it
it's
comes to
different.
abuse and all that, and that's something totally different. But oftentimes we speak on these relationships that our grandparents had and all that kind of stuff there, and we only look for, or we only want the good that we saw in it. And the reason, for the most part, the reason why we only speak on the good that we saw in it, because back in those days, they didn't let us see the bad. Right now we have our kids too much in our business, and we was too much, and we was also, in a sense, depending on the generation, too much in our parents' business. So we seen the good and the bad. Grandma and grandpa didn't let us see the bad, but you seen the good. So that's why today we wish we had those relationships, because we only was exposed to the good, because they did what they were supposed to do. They kept them kids out of the bad,
Exactly.
out of the bad shit. We didn't see all that. So now we wishing for something that we don't even know really what happened back then. But you honestly think, being an adult and knowing how relationships and how life go, that everything was good for them?
No,
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
fuck
They
that about-
struggled.
Grandpa
They
gone for a little
struggled.
bit.
They went through stuff. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, grandpa going now.
Exactly. And now, you grow up now, and you don't really put too much thought about it, but you ain't never just thought to yourself, why auntie don't look like mama now?
Half sisters.
Right. Right.
But hold on.
But grandma and them didn't put us in that business. Grandma and them didn't put us in that business. It could be from, exactly. It could be from either one of them. But you don't think about that, and you never really had to get that much thought, because grandma and us didn't keep us in that. They put us in their business like that to know that daddy that papa had another family on the other side of town, or that auntie ain't really from your grandfather.
You find that
You know
at
what I'm
funeral
saying?
time.
Yeah.
You don't find
You
that out
find
until
that at
later.
funeral time.
Exactly.
though.
So we often say, and we often wish that we had these relationships and marriages that our grandparents had, but we do not really want that, because grandma stuck through some shit.
Yeah.
Grandma stayed through some shit
That's
that y'all definitely wouldn't go through, because y'all leave niggas for liking pictures on Instagram.
Whoa.
Y'all leave niggas for liking pictures on Instagram.
I'm just like, if
Grandma
you do it,
stayed
I'ma
through
do
some
it.
shit.
Let me ask you a question. What? Nah, don't say this from a hurt woman's point of view. I don't know if you heard it or not. I'm just saying. I seen a post that a girl had asked some females in the group, was like, so how, she just moved to Houston. So she was like, how's dating in Houston? It was so many butthurt ass women in that goddamn group speaking down. And I had to come on and say, don't take opinions from everybody else, because I see it's a lot of butthurt women in here. Hurt people, and they give fucked up advice. You know what I'm saying? So that shit really kind of got
Would
to
it
me.
be considered hurt or basically facts? Because to me, honestly, when I moved here in 2010, I felt like I should have did more research, because I'm coming from a smaller state where everybody's more family oriented. When Houston is like way big, it's popular. You can go, if you try this person one week, then you can go to this person the next week and go to this person the next week, because there's more opportunity.
Yeah.
So if you don't like this person, go here. And then it's like the way things are here, it's a lot more fast paced, versus where I come from, you stick with the same person and you know them through high school. Like most of the people, like when I go back home, it be people I graduated with, and they still with the same person they was with when we were like 18, 19. Versus here, you see, it's not that much. So to me, I feel like the dating scene really isn't that good
So
here.
is dating...
Not because I'm hurt, but because I see how people move here. So it's like, people really just don't have feelings. Like they just, you have to be, it's like so many people who it's opportunities everywhere. Like it's plenty
So
of
would
fish
it be
in the sea or
dating,
something like
or
that.
would it be a relationship? You see what I'm saying? Because some people date for 2 or 3 days and end up in a fucking relationship after they get married.
True.
You see what I'm saying?
But
Like
see, where
it's
I'm
like
from, it's
that's
not
how I
like
stamped
that.
it. It's mine. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like it's
Because where you from is so much smaller, so
Yeah.
the selection, not only the selection, but when it's a small, when it's a small area, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's less likely that I'm gonna date this woman and everybody knows that I'm dating her. Then I stop dating her and I go to this woman that knew that I was dating this woman. You know what I'm
I
saying?
hate that.
People don't really want to jump into something that when they know, look, I know the person you was just with. Nah, in Houston, like she said, you can date somebody over here and go over here and date somebody and they'll never know. They'll never know. So it's less likely that people are gonna continue to cross like that. But I also feel like people date wrong.
yeah, that's true.
I feel like
That's
people
true.
don't, you know what I'm saying?
They date.
You don't put too much thought into who you decide to date.
Women are able to call the shots. I'm not talking shit. Period. Taking shit.
Depends on what man you fucking with, because it's 2022, damn near, sweetheart. Like, ain't no just women calling no shots for me. Like, I stand firm on what I want and what I don't want and what I believe and what I don't believe. And I don't give a damn.
Bro.
I don't give a damn. Like she just said, Houston is huge, and it is. Texas at that. Houston is huge. I don't have to settle for anything. You know what I mean? So ain't no
And
woman
that's
calling
where
no
I'm
shots or nothing.
So
And
you
I'm not
Give me a
saying
red flag.
I'm not saying the women call. I'm not saying that men just have to call the shots neither. But you know what I'm saying? We're gonna call these shots together, and we're gonna agree on some shit. We're gonna disagree on some shit. But ain't no just
Read
call
the
the shit.
first comment.
I
We're in
can't-
comments right now.
can't scroll.
Tamika.
We can't scroll right now, so we can't scroll. Look.
Well, see, and going back to when y'all was talking about, let's see, the granny comment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been through a lot, but even to this day, I still. The problem is, people here, from what I've noticed, they quick to display everything. Like, you could be out there and you hear them arguing and fighting, and then like, yeah, bitch, yeah, motherfucker, this, and I'm just like, damn. Where I'm used to. If me and you were together and you have a problem with me,
We keep that.
we wait
Niggas
till
put
I
that shit on
get
Facebook. That
behind.
shit pissing me off.
Wait till we get somewhere.
Yeah.
Like argue with me in the car. We gonna
exactly.
and people don't do that here.
Exactly.
I mean, from not here, but mostly from what I see, you
No,
see
you're right.
a lot of people they either air it out on social media or they just
I can't
fight out
stand
in
that
public.
shit.
And I'm just like, if you see me doing something wrong, like say if I'm talking to a dude
Give me a
who's
look.
friendly, give me something and then let me know we're gonna have this in the
You
car.
know how
And
mama-
we can fight,
you
we
know how
can
your
do
mama used to
whatever,
While
get
I
it
argue
out.
and all that,
And
you know what I'm saying? Let's handle that amongst us.
You know how your mama used to do
don't-
when you
all
in
this
public.
yanking
Putting
and
all
pulling
that-
me aside and over here going upside my head. I see girls go upside the dude head
Right.
and everything
All
in
that-
front, like,
and
oh,
putting
who is
everybody
this?
into
I'm
it,
like,
yeah.
oh God.
You ever seen your mama look at you in public? That look be like,
And one look
Right.
straight you up
they
real
be
quick.
like, hey, your brother still be acting stupid. You like, nigga.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. But that's one of my pet
When y'all
peeves. Talk
get
to
in the
me
car,
stupid
she
in
handle it.
public.
yeah,
man.
I hate that.
I can't stand that shit. Once you talk to me stupid in public, you probably not gonna hear from me damn near 3 or 4 days.
Right,
And
cause
you can think what you want, but if you want to leave me alone after that, I'm Pisces. I'm damn fine with it.
See, and another thing that again, like, I feel like we don't hold on to shit here. Oh,
Yeah,
just
I don't.
nowadays, period. I'm not gonna even just speak on just Houston. I'm just talking about people, period. Nowadays, we don't hold on to shit much long at all. You know what I'm saying? It's so, and it has a lot to do with the fact that everything is so accessible. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing different. It ain't no different than like buying a car. Nigga, you get a car and have it for a few months, don't want it, you go trade it in and get something else. Like, we don't hold on to nothing, period, right? Nowadays, an argument is equivalent to a breakup. You disagree today and be broke up tomorrow just because y'all disagreed on some shit. Nobody, like, people have true commitment issues and don't know how to work through problems, and they choose not to because it's so easy to just step out there and get something else.
but do that come from the household you grew up in? If you're used to
We forgot to say
not
something.
seeing
It
that?
could, and it might even come from the person.
We forgot to say
So
something.
what?
Welcome to Reckless Gentleman Podcast.
Oh,
We got a special guest, and this is Tiffany.
We just started talking.
Yeah, so we was just talking. But y'all need to tune in to the next episode because I got a football game to get to, and
For sure.
other people got stuff to do.
I wasn't even supposed to be talking. I was just supposed to be just watching.
We ain't doing no watching.
We can get you on the show again.
We definitely
when
get
we
you
got
again.
more time.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So,
again.
but right now we gotta get up out of here, and we'll holler at y'all later.